Sir, please start. Uh, Satish, sir?
Yeah,
Hello? Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
please
Speaking.
start.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. Myself, Sathish Kumar. I'm working as a scientist and at ICAR-CFT Cochin. So today I'm going to deliver a talk on fish curing, emphasis with the salting, smoking, and drying. So in this presentation, I'm going to cover about the brief introduction about the fish curing and different advantages and different methods of fish curing, that is salting, smoking, and drying, and the status as well as future perspectives. So we all know that fish is highly perishable commodity because of their nutritional composition, and it's highly susceptible to the spoilage when we don't have a proper preservative or processing techniques. In tropical country, especially in India, due to high temperature, the fish will spoils and even at the boat also, and it extended to the landing and during storage and processing, and as well as on the way to the market also. The fish harvesting and handling and processing and distribution, as well as the marketing, which will provide the livelihood for several millions of peoples, and also to provide the foreign exchanges to the several countries. In fact, in many rural fishing communities, doesn't have a proper infrastructure for their post-harvest processing and preservation. So because of that, their post-harvest losses even reach up to 40% of their total catches. So it is estimated that the post-harvest losses is around 25% of total world catch annually. So these losses directly affect the fishing community and their income. It depends on their post-harvest activities. So these losses are having the impact on the socio-economic status of the fishing community, and ultimately it will affect the protein availability throughout the world. And so because of to avoid this post-harvest losses, there are several preservative techniques that have been emerged day by day, and these techniques are updating day by day. So when we talk about the traditional fish preservation method, salting, drying, fermentation, and smoking and managing, these are the 5 major techniques collectively known as fish curing techniques. So when we talk about the fish curing is Asian preservation techniques, and the curing has been undergone several changes in course of history, but the principle it remains same. Usually the white fishes are preserved by salting, and the fatty fishes are generally preserved by smoking and marination techniques. So when you talk about the advantages, it has a number of advantages. The first one is it will prolong the shelf life, and it can store for the lean season, and we can reduce the waste at the time of bulk catches, and also we can easily pack and transport, and we can easily do the marketing also. These techniques are inexpensive technique, and we require little energy and equipment, and it can enhance the flavor, color, and texture property of the fishery product, and also we can, for some extent, we can extend the quality and nutritional value of the product. And the first one is salting, that is salt curing. This is one of the oldest method. We can done as such, or we can use this technique with the combination of drying also. Most commonly we use the common salt for drying purpose. Here the salt penetration ends when the salt concentration of fish equals to the surrounding medium. This phenomenon is osmosis. So this process facilitates the fish preservation by reducing the water activity. So the overall water content we can of the final product is around 35 to 45%. So based on the sources we can group the common salt into 3 categories. The first one is a solar salt, and the brine evaporated salt, and rock salt. So in the type of salting, the first one is dry salting. This is the most common and widely used method, and it can be advisable for fishes for any size fishes, and except fatty fishes. Here the fish and the salt ratio will be applied in the ratio of 1:3 to 1:10, and fish will be kept in the condition for 24 to 48 hours, and thereafter it will be kept for drying. The final moisture content will be around 25%, and we can get the yield of around 35 to 45%, and the storage life will be around 3 months. The next one is a wet salting method. It's similar to the dry salting method, but we can Usually, fish will be kept in the tank, in the brine tank, and it will be remain for the self braining. And this method is mainly used suitable for the fatty fishes like oil, sardine, and mackerel. We can achieve the moisture content of around 50 to 50%, and the total salt content will be around 25%. The next one is pickle salting. This is also kind of a wet salting. We can arrange the fish and salt by layer method, and the fish will be allowed to remain in the self brain. And if suppose we don't have a proper self braining, it's not sufficient self braining, we can add some more saturated brine to immerse the fishes. The next one is kench salting. This is also a dry salting method, except the self braining. Here the self brain which is formed during the saturation, during maturation, that will be allowed to drain off, and this method cannot be recommended because the fish will be exposed exposed to the air, as well as the fish cannot be covered properly by the brine solution. Next one is monocuring. This technique is mainly adapted for the medium to small sizes fish. So we can before you putting the salt, we can easily pull out the intestine through the gill region, and here the fish is not exposed during the salting, and the shelf life is around 3 months, and we can get the maximum yield of around 70%. And the next one is pit curing. When the fishermen having the bulk catches, and at that time they used to make a pit in the beach itself, and they will mix the salt and fish in the ratio of 4:1, and they will be that pit will be covered with the polymer and coconut leaf, and it will be left over for the 2 to 3 days for the maturation, and actually it has a very poor quality product. And the seventh one is Colombo curing. Usually the tamarind, that means Malabar tamarind, usually kept inside the abdomen portion of the fishes, and it will be stacked in the airtight wooden barrels, and which is filled with the brine solution. It has the shelf life of around 6 months. So when we come to the quality issues, it has several quality issues. The first one is pink and red spoilage caused because of halophilic bacteria, and dun spoilage is caused by the halophilic mold, which is called Spiroderma epizootium. The next one is a salt burn occurred due to the rapid removal of water, and next one is a case warning. It occurs because of a rapid drain, that is due to high temperature and low relative humidity. The next one is rancidity caused due to the oxidation of fat, and insect infestation caused by the flies and beetles, and the fragmentation caused due to the breakdown of fish due to the excess drying. The next one is smoking. This is also an ancient method of food preservation. It's also known as smoke curing. It's a process of treating the fishes by exposing it to a smoke, and we can introduce the flavor, taste, and preservative ingredient into the fish. Usually it's an integrated process. We can combine with the combination of salting, drying, and heating, and smoking. So usually in past, fish smoke curing was used for preserve the fish for the lean season, but nowadays the main purpose of the smoking has been shifted for developing delicacy product rather than preservative effect. So in and around 2% of the world catch is used for the preparation of smoked fishes in the world, especially the countries like African countries like Nigeria and Ghana and Uganda and Kenya are most widely practiced in this method. In this African country itself, more than 70 to 80% of fishes being used for the smoked product preparation. In history, the fish smoking can be traced back even at 30th century. At that time, there were two distinct types were there. One is hot smoking and cold smoking. Before 20th century, people used to do the heavy salting and thoroughly drying and the heavy smoked product. They will go up to 3 weeks for the smoking. So the final product was totally preserved for the long period of time. So once the introduction of refrigeration technology, the harsh curing techniques were reduced, and people started preferring the mild curing, and the modern smoking products are salted and dried, and it was smoked very lightly, And the development of mechanical and automatic processing equipments like automated brainers and controllable mechanical cleans have been an important invention in this fish smoking industry. This is the one. This is the one Tariq Clean. That is a Tariq Clean smoke house designed in 1939. So here we can control the entire smoking parameters like air temperature, speed, humidity. So we can get a high quality final product. So it overcomes the problems encountered in the traditional cleans, and nowadays so there are so many modern cleans are available in the market. These cleans are available with the computer programmer, so we can control the entire process parameters. So when it comes to the technical aspects, there are 5 major steps involved in this technical aspects. So one is selection and handling and preparation of raw materials, then brining and salting, and racking and hanging and drying. And the fourth one will be the smoking, and finally packing. The first one is selection and handling and preparation of raw material. We should always select the top quality, that means high quality product, high quality fishes for producing the top quality smoked product. And we should prefer the fishes which are rich in oil, that because the fish will absorb more smoke when it contains more oil. So we should always select the fatty fishes. The smoke, suppose small fishes means we can gut and we can do the cutting and we can do the smoking. If suppose in case of larger fishes, we can do the smoking as a whole gutted fishes, and we can do the filleting, or we can chunks also we can try. The next one is brining and salting. This is important key steps for adding the flavor to the product, as well as we can enhance the safety of the smoked product, and we can done it in 2 ways, so either in dry salting or liquid brining. So we should always make sure that the size of the fish fillet or size of the fish should be uniform, and we should make sure that all the pieces are receiving the same amount of salt. And the brining technique is the most efficient technique for salting, and the ratio of fish and brine should be 1:1. So next one is drying. So after brining, the fish will be rinsed, and it will be air dried before smoking. For rinsing will remove the salt tolerant bacteria, and drying will enhance the smoke deposit during the smoking process. And the time required for drying is around 1 to 2 hours. So and this drying process play a major role in the cold smoking, and in case of hot smoking, the drying process doesn't require. So during the cold smoking, the drying process, it form a glossy appearance that called follicle formation. It's mainly because of the salt denatures on the surface protein. Then there are several factors are affecting the drying process, like velocity and amount of moisture content and temperature. So the amount of salt in the fish also affecting the drying process. And here the relative humidity is around 60 to 70% is the most satisfactory for the cold smoking process. So the third one is racking and hanging and drying. So this racking will provide the maximum exposure to the exposure of the fishes to the smoked product. And even some industries and some people are using the spatting technique. That means hanging of fishes inside the smoking clean chamber. So the next one is smoking. Smoking is produced through the incomplete combustion of the wood, which is contain high complex mixture of chemicals such as organic acid, alcohol, ammonia, and carbon dioxide, such as phenols and sulfur dioxide. So far over more than 400 volatile compound has been identified in the smoked wood, and the primary contributors are phenol, which is responsible for the color or odor and flavor of the product. The last one is packing. So once it's smoked, the product will be cooled down into the room temperature, and it will be packed in vacuum packaging, string pack, and canned packaging, as well as modified atmospheric package. So when we talk about the types, depends on the smoking temperature. We can classify into 4 types. One is the cold smoking, hot smoking, liquid smoking, and electrostatic smoking. The cold smoking usually done at the temperature below 30 degrees centigrade, and it requires further cooking period to the consumption. The next one is hot smoking. It usually done at 70 to 80 degrees centigrade, and here the hot smoked products are often hanged rather than the racking. The next one is liquid smoke. Nowadays we have a lot of liquid smoke available in the market, so we can commercially available liquid smoke on so we can collect it, and the smoke concentrate that we can can be dissolved in the solvent. We can spray on the product directly, and we can achieve the uniform smoke flavor, and it may be quite expensive as well. And the last one is electrostatic smoking. This is a rapid method of smoking. Here the fish will be centered into the tunnel where the electrostatic field are created, and here the smoke particle is given as a positive charge, and fish which are given as a negative charge. Once the fish enter into the smoking tunnel, that negative charge fishes will absorb the positive charge smoke particle, and it will get smoked. And it's a continuous operational method, and safety is one of the major challenges in the electrostatic smoking. So next we will see about the different traditional clean in the world. The first one is linear rectangular smoking oven, most commonly available in Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda. The raw material used is the Nile perch, and here the rectangular mud oven is actually a rectangular mud oven, and here the fishes were kept above the rectangular mud oven, and it will kept for 3 to 4 hours, and it will be get smoked. The next one is smoking, another traditional method of followed in the Nigeria. One is a traditional method, another one is a mechanical method. So these are the preparation of the smoked product. The next one is Tinpa Salinas method. Usually, this method followed in Philippines, and here the rounded scad, milkfish, and sardine mackerels are usually raw material for this Tinpa Salinas method. And here, usually the fish will be dried for 2 hours, then it will be boiled in the saturated brine. Thereafter, it will be smoked for 30 to 45 minutes. Then it will be packed in the bamboo basket, and it will be marketed. The next one is a traditional smoking pit in East Africa. So when people have a bulk catch, they used to make the pit in the beach itself, and they will make a smoking pit, and they will left the fish over the smoking pit, and for the whole day, even they will go for 2 to 3 days for the smoking. The next one is a traditional cylindrical mud oven from the Ghana. So the left one is the oven that's open mud oven. The next one is the open mud oven is covered with the lid. This is another one, Bindas method from West Africa. So the left one is the enclosed smoking clean, and then next one is open method. Next one is Altona type oven from the West Africa, that is mainly from Uganda. And next one is a Roger smoking clean from the Uganda. It's actually it's a complex method to build this one, and the cost of production also will be higher. So it's unaffordable for the African countries. The next one is adjective oven. It is designed from Ghana. So here the one advantage is the fire will be generated from the indirect smoking method. The next one is Ivory Coast clean method. So here the smoking chamber will be it's actually indirect smoking chamber. The smoke will be generated in the bottom, and the smoke will be come up, and it will get smoked, and the fishes will be kept on these mesh trays. Next one is charcoal smoking method from the Ghana. This is actually rectangular smoking clean. It consists of 2 holes, and which is created the fire boxes, and it having the one entrance. So we can keep up to 15 trays. So the total capacity around 250 kgs. This is actual charcoal. smoking process. This is another smoking process from the Sri Lanka. It's the most simplest method. So they used to burn their wood in the bottom and it will be get smoked. So this is the one from India. That's a Mosmin product. It's a traditional product from the Lakshadweep and Malabar coast. Which is prepared from the skipjack tuna. Here the fish will be heavily smoked and it will be hard, right? That the final moisture content will be around 10%. So we can have the shelf life of around more than 1 year also. So this product will be exported to Sri Lanka, Singapore, and Malaysia and Hong Kong. So another method is Jitaka smoking method. It's followed in Andhra Pradesh. That means coastal Andhra Pradesh. So here the estuarine prawns and a mixture of species will be used for the mangrove woods and sawdust. The temperature will be around 40 to 50 centigrade and the RH will be around 65 70 degrees centigrade. So more than 25 species have been used for this kind of smoking. So even sometimes people used to do the mullet and shrimps also. The capacity of the cycle is around 25 to 100 kg per cycle. So the final moisture content of the product will be around 18 to 20% and having the shelf life of 4 to 6 months. When I talk about the potential hazards, biological hazards, chemical hazards, and physical hazards are associated with the smoked product. In biological hazard, Listeria monocytes are most common bacteria associated in the cold smoked product. And Classidium botulinum also associated with the cold smoked product, and in some extent it will be associated in the hot smoked product. In regards to toxins, aflatoxins also associated with the smoked product for some extent. So other bacteria like foodborne bacteria like Salmonella, Staphylococcus aureus, E. coli, and also associated with the smoked product due to the improper handling of smoked product. So when we talk about the chemical assaults, polyaromatic hydrocarbon, that is pH, is a major concern and a major challenge in this smoked product, and it's formed due to the incomplete combustion of the wood, and it is actually a carcinogenic and a mutagenic substance, and that even for smoked fish, that pH level even go up to 200 microgram per kg. So the control measure is we should go for the indirect smoking process to avoid this to reduce or can avoid the polyaromatic pH polyaromatic hydrocarbons, and as well as we can go for the washing process before the smoke will be conduct to the fishery product, and as well as we can go for a liquid smoke also. It's one of the remedy for this avoiding this polyaromatic hydrocarbons. So there are a set of procedure, the Code of Calmetics and European Union having set of procedure to avoid the polyaromatic hydrocarbons, and their limits. They're having the limits for these fishery products, and for fishery product it should be 2 microgram per kg in the weight basis, and 12 microgram in the meat of smoked fish and fishery product, 5 microgram per kg and 30 microgram per kg for the smoked sparrowet, and 6 to 35 microgram for the smoked bivalves. The next one is histamine chemical spice. The histamine is most commonly associated with the scarlet fishes, and there are some biotoxins like BSP, DSP, and ASP also associated with the smoked products. In the smoked product during the storage time. So when we talk about the recent technologies and invention, nowadays instead of smoking flavor, people have started preferring some other new flavors like orange peel flavors or lemon flavors. Like that, the people are now started demanding on the different flavor based smoked products. So now we can mix all this mixture and we can get a new product. So apart from that, we can add even popcorn, pepper, and wines also we can add into the smoked product. We can give make a new innovative product also. So another prevention techniques for the carcinogenics is electrostatic filtration. So this filtration can easily filter the polyaromatic hydrocarbons, and even liquid smoke also one of the options for reducing the polyaromatic hydrocarbons. So here, this is the FAO developed FTT processing technique, that means thyroid processing techniques. This will especially designed for small scale fish processor in African countries. So here, overall 12 countries have so far adopted in this FTT techniques. It has initially started at 2008, and here we have smoke capturing chimney and oil capturing trays and other existing oven also we have. So we can improve the fuel efficiency, and we can also address the health hazard associated with the smoked product. This is another one developed from the Norwegian Institute of Oceanography and Marine Research, and here we can reduce the entire processing smoking time from 4 days to 4 hours. So because of that, the people from the Norwegian, Nigeria, they have reduced the post-harvest losses by 70%, and their income was also increased by 5%. So in CFT, we have 2 indigenous smoking clean, and we have a liquid smoke clean, and as well as 2 mechanical fish smoking smoker also we have. So the next one is drying, the last one. So in general, the term drying is impulse that's a removal of water by evaporation. Usually the fish contains 70 to 80% of water. So in this drying process, the water will be removed by using the thermal energy. In terms of by sun or controllable burning of oils or gas or wood, or even some electric heating also, we can use as a thermal energy. So this drying can take place in two distinct phases. One is the first phase is depends on the conditions. In the first phase, the rate of drying will be very constant. So we can call it as a constant rate of rate period. The next one is a falling rate period. And there are several factors associated during this constant rate drying phases and falling rate drying phases. So depends on the method. We can classify into 2 methods. One is natural, that is a sun drying method, and artificial or mechanical dryers. So in CFT, we have a solar dryer with the electric backup. So the next one is a solar fish dryer. The next one is a solar cum LPG hybrid dryer. And this is the solar tunnel dryer. So as a scientific community, we are talking about so many advanced techniques and so many preservative techniques for improving the safety and quality of the fishery product. But when we go to the real field, the case will be entirely different. So this is the actual area of salting. The people, when they have a bulk catch, they will used to dump the entire catch in the landing center itself, and they used to put the salt and they will mix it in. The entire process is done at the landing center itself. So this is the salting and storage area for these drying yards. This is a drying yard with the open condition, and this is the selling point. So because of this unhygienic practices, our export in regards to dried product and dried items, traditional products has been come down into 6.55%. So its main drawback in this traditional processing techniques, a lack of SOP, that means standard operating. We don't have proper standard operating procedure, and also we don't have proper infrastructure, and we don't have proper knowledge, and we are lack of training also. So moreover, there is a general conception that drying and salting usually it is a secondary method for the preservation, and this technique mainly used for the low quality fishes as well as low cost fishes. So as a conclusion, as a scientific community, we should take more responsibility to popularize these improved training techniques, and also we should have a proper and adequate extension service to knowledge the fisher community to produce improved product, and we should have the proper standard operating procedure for the traditional fishery product, which will improve the quality, and also it will increase the socio-economic status of the fisher community. Thank you. Hello. Hello. Hello, madam. Hello.
Dr. Sathish, good evening. This is Muruganandan from TNGF.
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir.
நல்லா இருக்கீங்களா?
நல்லா இருக்கும் சார், நல்லா இருக்கும் சார்.
The presentation was informative, very good.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Any questions, sir? Any?
No, it was nice. Thank you very much.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thanks.
Hello, sir. Good afternoon.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm Bikash Kumar Pati from
Yeah. Good evening, sir. Please.
OUT Bhubaneswar. Somewhere you have mentioned due to refrigeration technology,
Yeah.
the harsh curing has been reduced. So actually, what is the concept?
Earlier in 20th century, people used to go for smoking for even 2-3 days. So nowadays we are doing for only 2 hours or even 1 hour also we are doing. So to import the flavors, that means smoke flavors. So now people are mainly focusing for delicacy product instead of going for preservation for the long period.
Okay, that means the frozen product is they like more frozen product than the cured product.
Yes.
Okay. Beside Lakshadweep, we are preparing masmin.
Hello, not getting. Hello.
Hello, sir.
Yeah, I'm not getting, sir. Can you explain?
I'm, sir, talking in India.
Yeah.
Masmin is popular in Lakshadweep, isn't it?
Yes. Yeah, only in Lakshadweep now, right now.
So, beside Lakshadweep, anywhere in India, is there production of any smooth product?
Apart from Lakshadweep, in Kerala, we have, I think, 2-3 units.
The product is
also, I
the
don't know
same
about.
masmin.
Yeah, I don't know. Not masmin. Yeah, masmin.
Masmin.
Yeah, masmin.
So, beside masmin, any other product is there in India, either in Northeast? I think Northeast, the smooth product is very popular. Or have you any idea?
In India, the masmin will be mainly they are focusing for export purpose. Hello.
Okay, I'm listening.
Yeah, mainly the people will focus for the export purpose. They used to export to Sri Lanka and Gulf countries.
That's
but
okay.
most of the here, but in India, nobody, most of them are not preferring to eat the smoked product in India. Indian context, we can.
Okay. That means the smoked product is not popular in India.
Yes. Yeah. Once upon a time, it was popular. Now it is that it has been drastically came down because of that new refrigeration techniques.
And one more query, sir.
Oh.
You have shown some indigenous smoke chamber or kiln developed by ICAR-Central.
Yes.
So that you have developed the design or you have purchased?
No, we have developed. That's a CFT developed a dry ice.
Is that commercialized?
Yeah, it is commercialized.
And who has taken the license?
Here, the Cochin itself, 2% persons have taken the license. So we have a contract service also. They will provide the entire technology also. And then they will manufacture and they will distribute to you.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Okay, then thank you.
And sir, one more query. Beside cold smoking and hot smoking, you mentioned two more type of smoking. Some electrostatic smoking.
Yes,
And what is
yes.
that, sir? What is that smoking? I think you have not.
Electrostatic smoking is followed in European countries, mostly European countries. They used to use that salmon and herring. These two species are mainly used for this electrostatic smoking. Here,
The
in that,
concept, the operating temperature and time.
the operating temperature is around 70 degrees centigrade actually.
That means they use the electricity heaters.
Yes. Yeah, heaters they use.
Okay, another one you mentioned, the last one.
Last one is actually liquid smoking.
Liquid smoking. What is that, sir?
Yeah. Actually, it's a concentrated liquid smoke. So I'll show you this one more smoking clean, actually liquid smoking clean.
Sir.
Yes. You can see the left one, that liquid smoking clean.
Sir, can you kindly describe the procedure or the operation liquid smoking thing?
So usually we used to burn this coconut husk or wood chips, and once it's the smoke generated, it will be condensed, and that liquid will be collected.
Liquid will be collected.
Collected, yes. That will be liquid smoke.
The
That's
next
actually
step, sir?
concentrated. Yeah, that's a concentrated one actually.
Okay, but next what? Once the liquid is collected, then what will happen?
Once you can collect it, then we can store it for a long period. That we can directly spray on the product.
Okay, you have to spray it, isn't it?
Yeah, you have to.
And the temperature?
It's kind of a distillation unit. Okay, once it's the smoke will be generated, then it will be cooled down. Then the liquid will be formed. Then the liquid will be collected. Then the liquid will be sprayed on the product.
Which type of fish? All these pelagic fishes, or any particular
Yeah, we
fish?
can use it any type of fishes. Mostly we will go for fatty fishes, so that will give more tasty. That's why we used to apply on the fatty fishes.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for your deliberation and
Thank
for
you.
the conversation. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, sir. Thank you.
Some new things learned to know about smoking.
Yes, definitely. Okay.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any other questions?